everybody!
Oh my god. No.
Hey! I'm sorry, let's try it
Jeez.
again. It's the air. It's making me nuts. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Real Brave Live, Smoke Edition. Smoke on the Water. Can you play it, Smoke on the Water? Thank you. If you didn't know that already, we outside it's smoky because Canada is on fire, including all the squirrels and bears. Today we're going to talk about something pretty interesting. Did you know that the Beatles never broke up, Kevin?
Oh, yeah. No, I did not know that.
Well, we're going to find that out today. They never broke up. They released an album in 2009 together. And then we're going to talk about the weirdest celebrity albums that probably should never have been released. Here on
Real Brave Live.
Cool.
Yeah.
My brother put a story together on Instagram with Smoke on the Water,
Really?
showing all the smoke. Yeah, it was cool. I was like, very good, Tom.
So wait, is somebody insinuating that Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention started the fire in Canada?
No, nobody.
Because that's what that song is about.
Oh, really?
Frank Zappa.
It says Frank Zappa and the Mothers in the lyrics.
Yeah, they were in a
I've
hotel.
listened to this. I've only listened to the riff, and after that,
some stupid with a flare gun.
So tell me more about Smoke on the Water. I literally never knew this.
Burn the place to the ground. Smoke on the Water.
It was a Frank Zappa gig,
And
somebody there, I guess, had a flare gun and set it off inappropriately, and it burned the amphitheater or whatever they were playing. Like, it burned it down. That's what the song's about.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
No, well, yeah. They've since banned flare guns at amphitheaters.
Oof.
Yeah. So real blow to flare gun fans.
Flare gun enthusiasts everywhere are still very mad about that.
Yeah, they've been trying to repeal that.
You shouldn't do that. It was outside, too, which is...
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, still, though. Just be careful this 4th of July, folks.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So, the Beatles never broke up.
Yep.
And according to a man named James Richards, he tells the story of how he came across a cassette tape that contains the new Beatles material that was made after their breakup in 1970.
So in this universe, surely, right?
Well, that's where it gets weird.
Oh.
If things weren't weird enough, that's where it gets weird. Because from Brian, you're a Beatles carnivore, right?
Carnivore? You're a Beatles carnivore?
Connoisseur, I'd say. Sure, yeah.
Carnivore.
Carnival?
The Beatles did break up, right?
As far as I'm aware, yes, somewhere in the ballpark of the end of 69, early 70, they ceased being an active unit, yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to read this from the site because I feel like it's interesting enough. First of all, the site looks like this. I just want you to see that. That's what it looks like. Can you see that on the film?
Yes, we
That
can
looks
see
like pre-Wix
High
or even
quality.
Squarespace. I mean,
It's high quality.
somebody just went in there with HTML code and was like, text.
Slightly
Picture.
above GeoCities, let's say.
Yeah.
On September 9th, 2009, this is James Richards talking, I experienced something that I'm still having trouble believing that happened to me. I came into possession of a cassette tape containing a Beatles album that was never released. In fact, not only was it never released, but it was recorded many years after they broke up. And no, I'm not talking about Klaatu. What's Klaatu?
What is
So
Klaatu?
Klaatu was a band in the 70s that released a single that sounded a lot like the Beatles, and people were convinced it was a Beatles reunion album, and like tens of thousands of copies of this relatively obscure 70s band album were sold, and it was not the Beatles.
You're kidding.
No, they're called Klaatu, which is from the movie,
That is fascinating.
old sci-fi movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still, and the villain's named Klaatu or something. And that's it. So it's this sci-fi thing. People were convinced it was the Beatles, and it was not the Beatles.
I've
obviously.
learned more today than I ever knew before in my life. Now, this is where the story becomes slightly more unbelievable. And that's his words.
Slightly.
And it's almost embarrassing to attempt to explain.
This is Klaatu.
Well, skip ahead a bit. To me, it doesn't really sound terribly Beatles-ish, but
Can you put that closer to your microphone so people can hear it? It sounds like
sounds like 70s AOR rock.
no. It sounds like the DJ that was playing Italian dance music at the club that I was at the other day. You know what I'm talking about? Kevin, you're the worst. What? That doesn't sound like the Beatles.
That's interesting. Maybe some of the chord changes, sure, but like texture-wise, no.
Maybe
those
John
drums
Lennon's
are really well compressed. I'll say that.
Anyway. So he was slightly more embarrassed to attempt to explain the incident for fear of it being viewed as completely absurd. But I must assure you, I am not insane or on drugs. He wanted to make sure. And hopefully the audio from the tape will be enough proof that there is more than we think out there. So that was his opening statement.
I'm not insane or on drugs. I should start every conversation like that.
My T-shirt that says "I'm not on drugs" is already answering the questions that you're asking.
Yeah.
I live in Livermore, California, but on September 9th, I was driving home from Turlock after visiting a friend for a few days. I had my dog. I didn't have any plans, blah, 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 blah.
What kind of dog does it say?
A ways into the canyon, my dog started acting like she needed to use the restroom, so I pulled over, blah, 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 blah. And my dog started chasing a rabbit. It's really long.
This is all very relevant information.
Started chasing a rabbit?
Yeah.
Did it go down a hole?
I really wish I had my glasses on. All right,
Was
so
it a white rabbit?
So here's where it gets
Well, that's that question.
this story is incredible. I wasn't near the window that he was by this house in the room, and I was actually on the other side next to an unusual looking electronic machine that I didn't recognize anywhere that I've seen before. And the only reason why they stood out because it seemed at a place in a person's home where blah blah blah. So then this door opens, and I was excited. There's a man excited to see me. He was about 6 foot tall. He had black hair and dressed casually nice.
Did he have a shirt on that says, "I'm not on drugs"?
He introduced himself as Jonas and asked me if I was okay, and I said yes. He said he found me unconscious in a field with my dog barking at me. So, of course, I thanked him for helping me. And then he said, do you want to know where you are? And basically, I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's paragraphs. But
in the jungle, baby.
I had the same exact thought. I don't know why. I had the same exact thought.
Rips off a mask. It's Axl Rose.
So he said he traveled to another dimension to retrieve this tape.
Okay.
That's basically the story. And it's paragraphs, dude. It's paragraphs.
So, may I ask a question here before getting any further? Does this person who's perpetrating this to be the truth?
Well, there's a couple of theories about this whole
Sure,
thing.
but there is nothing on the website that is saying like, here's a story I invented.
Oh no! This is
Also, you can't travel to a dimension. A dimension is just a spatial measurement.
Is that what it is, Kevin? Tell us more, you physio-scientists.
X,
physics.
Y, and Z are the three spatial dimensions we know, and then there's the fourth dimension of time.
So my question stands. So this person is trying to play this off like this really happened.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. The story is.
There's a reason I'm asking that, which I'll get to in a minute.
James Richards, if you're watching this, please call the number on your screen and talk to us, please, about this, because we have so many questions.
Well,
What's your dog's name? What kind of breed is it?
The name, first of all, the name is fake.
Oh.
It has to be.
Is that
because
taken
it's
from
it's a
perhaps-
play off of the two names of the Beatles.
Right. James
Paul McCartney
and
Richard
Richard
Starkey, right.
Yes.
So right away, there's just no way. This, first of all, I think the whole "I'm not on drugs and I went to another dimension" thing would probably give it away.
I feel like if you have to say that you're not crazy on drugs, one of those is probably true.
I'm not crazy, but I just came back from another dimension.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Especially those guys on TikTok that are saying like, I'm a traveler from the year 2492, and I'm here to tell you that this is gonna happen. It's like all bullshit.
Right.
Did I say bullshit on?
Twice.
It's a family show. It's a family show. That can only mean one thing. You're either not adhering to the family show format, or it's now okay to say bullshit if you're a kid. Hey kids, guess what? The S word is in play.
According to my children, who have taken many liberties to use the word to find the way to curse. Anyway,
It's okay if you quote someone.
did you get to hear any of this music?
Yeah, I listened to the first track and did not like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get to go any? You didn't go any further.
No.
Did you get to listen to
No,
it?
I did not.
So what it was is a mashup, very well done, of all the songs by the Beatles as solo artists.
So someone took like a John Lennon solo song and then overdubbed a fake McCartney bass line on it, like that sort of stuff, right?
That sort of stuff,
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, but you'll hear like Band on the Run
Yeah.
in the background, but then it's faded into another like Lennon song that was obviously a Lennon song because it's literally what it sounds like. And you hear a Ringo like beat in the background, but it was from his solo career.
Oh wow.
It's really it's a cool idea, but it's just obviously wacko.
I love the lore. I'm a big fan of the lore.
That's the piano from Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by George Harrison.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's Give Me Some Truth by John Lennon.
If you're like not familiar with their solo stuff, then you'd be like, "Oh, this is really cool." But if you've heard it all before, it's kind of
I mean,
lame.
I'm not too familiar with their solo stuff, and I'm like, cool. But
Yeah,
they're now doing AI Beatles stuff.
the AI Beatles sounds way better.
Yeah.
So
Way,
this
way
reminded me of an album that came out, I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago. Last year. There's a band out of Boston called Hallelujah the Hills. They're a pretty good band. They made this album. It's called The Music of the Beatles as Channeled in 1958 by the Echo Lake Home for the Potentially Clairvoyant. And the idea is that, and they admit this is all just a made-up idea. I'm not going to use the word you used because this is a family show and I respect that. But
Are you
So-
saying I don't respect families? Then I am.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I do respect them. You do what you want. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
I mean,
respect
it's
families.
fine. It's fine. You know,
Um,
some people just respect the sanctity of, cultured language.
I'm
That's
Some
all.
don't.
insulted.
So this idea is that there is this like home for clairvoyant people who channeled the Beatles music in 1958. So it's all played as like country music from the 50s, but versions of like "And Your Bird Can Sing" and "Please Please Me" Across the Universe. I'll play a little bit into my phone just so you can get an idea of it. Here's We Can Work It Out.
Oh, it's freaking me out.
So
It's freaking me out. Don't do that. It sounds like something
yeah.
something that we like. You
Bad
just
acid
summoned.
trip is what it is.
Yeah.
Summoned a demon.
Yeah, but it's this whole album of fake Beatles, but they say like this just someone had this crazy idea and we made it as if it was real. But they're not trying to say this is actually
Yeah.
real. Whereas your fella here is trying to say this is a real thing.
And that's my favorite thing about this whole thing is that lore. I want to know way more about.
You got to
James
read
Richards.
the story. Is just it makes the whole thing happen. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. But there's also a theory that this was planned because it came out during the same time as the remixes in 2008, 2009,
Oh yeah, when they remaster the catalog, yeah.
and it also
It was that long.
should have been flagged for copyright. So it probably got okayed by the overlords. That's just theory. Because like you can put anything out on the internet, nobody cares. But it's just they're using all these different parts. There's like 5 or 4 different bits of music.
So did the tape come from a parallel universe, or did he travel to a parallel
Travel
universe?
to, and then he brought it back with him.
By what means? Did he step through a portal? Was there a device involved?
I'd have to read the whole thing. I only read a little bit of it. As soon as I got to the tall guy and the portal,
Was it
and
a Stargate type situation, or was it more?
Kurt Russell was not in this.
Was it like a Hiawatha kind of experience, maybe, or
Hiawatha is an
DMT.
Indian, an American
You mean
Indian.
ayahuasca?
whatever?
He said Hiawatha's a street in the town we're in right now.
That's right.
The American Indians did not have anything to do with this.
Okay.
That we know of.
You can email him the Beatles never broke up at yahoo.com.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yahoo.com. Parallel dimensions, parallel universes,
In this parallel
yahoo.com.
universe, Yahoo never lost ground to Google in the great search engine wars.
You have the technology to break physics, but Yahoo is your domain server.
I'd like to read maybe the last couple sentences, see if it adds any closure. Back in our world, I could see my car on the road still, and there was a straight line burn mark on the road from where the portal had shown up.
So so now we're actually talking about
We went through
Back to the Future DeLorean skid marks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was dark outside, and the only reason why I noticed the burn was because it was still smoking from the heat. I walked back to my car, didn't run this time, and drove home. The worst part was I couldn't even listen to the tape that he'd gotten on my way home because I didn't have a tape player in my car. Blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, I didn't have any information about the tape other than what was written on the card sleeve. The track names were written, as well as the album title, Everyday Chemistry is the name of the album, which is a weird name of a Beatles album, by the way. Everything else above it is as mysterious to you as it is to me. It wasn't like... Can you play some weird music, maybe? It wasn't like I could have asked the guy anything about it, especially after taking it from him. I'll post some more about my experience in the coming days, but I have to go to work right now. He has a job. He has a job.
What's his job? What's his job?
You're never going to believe this heart surgeon.
It's Donald Trump.
Pharmaceutical tester.
But I have to go to work right now, and this post is already long enough.
Yes.
If anybody else has any questions and they want to ask me about the incident, I've set up an email address, and you can contact me at thebeatlesneverbroakeup@yahoo.com. I'll try to answer everyone's questions as best as possible. Lastly, if anyone out there has experienced anything like this, please contact me.
Oh, man. I want to see this guy's inbox so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you playing the Twilight Zone?
I was trying.
Yeah. That was pretty close.
A dimension of sight, a dimension of sound, a dimension of mind. See, other types of dimensions that you can't travel to.
Yeah. There's people out there that don't know what the Twilight Zone is. I'm proud of you.
That's a bummer.
I know.
Twilight Zone's great.
I know.
Yeah.
Rod Sterling? Sterling?
Yeah.
Rob Sterling is his brother.
Ayahuasca.
Hiawatha Boulevard.
So yeah, that's that. So that kind of made me go, well, what else kind of weird stuff can we do? And then I stumbled across this
Bowl of ayahuasca.
and then took it and was wondering why.
Live here on the air.
So yeah, I found this probably albums that should never have gotten made. Those are by celebrities. Did you get to look at any of this stuff?
Did, yes.
So
I just want to give a shout out to a different podcast. I know is that allowed, or is this the only
oh
podcast?
yeah, nobody cares.
There's a podcast called Bizarre Albums, where somebody every week does like a 15-minute episode, a deep dive into a weird album that got made, and a lot of these have been covered on Bizarre Albums.
Oh.
Well, I'd love to be a guest in that show and ruin it.
Yes. Doesn't exist. We're
Yeah.
the only podcast. We're the first and the last and the
So
only.
according to smoothradio.com,
The alpha and the omega.
6 weird albums by celebrities you never knew existed. The first one was Nick Knowles, which I don't know why.
don't
Who's
know who
Nick
that
Knowles?
is.
Huh?
I don't know who that is.
Who is that?
Who's Nick Knowles?
I don't know.
Let's just pass by
Get
that.
lost, nobody.
But then I scrolled down, and immediately we'll have this on the recap editing episode that
Hey.
Ramir is doing.
Hey.
But Mr. T's Commandments, just special stuff.
Now, is Mr. T purporting to be God? Because as far as I know, there's only one set of commandments, and it is the Lord's commandments.
His name is Lawrence Turod. Is that his name?
I believe so.
With his first album titled Mr. T's Commandments. I know what you were thinking. How and why does Mr. T, of all people, have an album? Well, it was the 80s, and everything seemed remarkable in those days.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just an album of him being a motivational speaker and a religious advocate. And I got a song up here.
I imagine it's all that like Super Bowl shuffle era rap where it's like, my name is T and I'm here to say,
I hope not.
Here are my commandments. Ba ba ba.
Oh, spot on. If you or someone you love struggles with 80s style hip hop, please call the number on the screen now. Woo! It's a hot track.
Oh man.
There was a whole cottage industry of terrible rap like that for like a solid 8 or 9 years, from like 85 to 93.
But when it came
Every
out,
bad
it wasn't
celebrity-
terrible. It was great.
No, that was still terrible.
I loved that.
The picture is even better, which I hope we get to blow up. But there's a bunch of people behind him,
Yeah.
if you can see,
Yeah.
trying to get through to him, I guess.
Right.
While he's got 2 kids in his lap and 1 by his crotch.
Yeah, really. Just real close there. Uncomfortably close. And maybe, we're just...
I don't even... I think he's actually leaning against...
Maybe this is just good old-fashioned, 1980s naivete. Innocence, and we're jaded here in 2023.
And he's in the middle of saying something,
He
too.
is.
What do you
Probably
think?
something about pitying somebody.
A fool?
Maybe. Possibly. Likely. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
What else does Mr. T say other than...
Something about, let's go into the van, A-team.
I remember he hated flying on the A-team. He was afraid to fly.
Fly?
He was afraid. They had to drug him to put him on a plane on the A-team.
First name is Mr. Middle name is that period. Last name is T.
You're about to knock the level over.
Man, rest in peace, Mr. T.
Did he die? Mr. T's dead?
Yeah.
When?
Dude, it's been years. It's been years.
No, that can't be right. Mr. T alive?
Kevin's bald-faced lie is convincing enough to get Dan to Google this, even though he talked about this pre-show.
I
I
do
know,
this
but
a
I just want to
lot.
make sure. It's good fodder. He was born in 1952, still alive, 71.
Oh, wow.
He's teeing away. He's teeing it off.
71, he's almost old enough to run for Congress.
He's almost old. Yeah, almost old enough to be president
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Another 10 years. He's 5'10".
What? No, he's not.
I pictured him at least 6'4".
Yeah, 5'10" according to Wikipedia.
Larger than life is why.
His name's Lawrence Turlock.
I would imagine he'd be taller
Does
today.
that count the mohawk?
Yeah, that's
No,
a
you
great question.
cannot. You cannot. You have to count it.
Yeah, it's a solid.
It's
2
up to the.
inches.
It's up to the head.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would
when-
imagine he'd be taller today had it not been for all those chains. He's probably got some serious neck problems.
Did you see Rocky 3?
No.
Ooh.
What's wrong with you?
Stopped at Rocky 2.
Yeah, Rocky 3 is where's that's Mr. T, man.
Is it really?
Yeah, that
See,
one.
and Hulk Hogan's in that one too?
Hollywood Hulk Hogan,
Yes.
24-inch Python's brother.
He plays a character whose name is, and wait for it, Thunderlips.
Thunderlips.
Yes, Thunderlips.
He's a boxer,
A wrestler.
a wrestler.
Okay.
Yes.
That's like Macho Man playing Bonesaw in
Bonesaw McGraw, brother.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He is dead, yes. We
We,
lost him.
we talked about
He
Macho
has a
Man.
rap album
What
as
did
well.
he die of?
Macho?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's a diss track against Hulk Hogan on it.
No.
Yes.
That's great.
Somebody needs to find that.
I remember we should do an entire episode about all of the pro wrestler entry music. There was some good
We
stuff.
did
in
lose
there.
the Iron Sheik today, guys.
Who?
80s wrestler, the Iron Sheik.
Today?
Today. Friend just texted me about it.
The irony.
Irony. I see what you did there.
The irony. Get it, Kevin?
Please hold while we congratulate ourselves on some great banner. The Iron Sheik, who's he? WCW?
Oh,
no, this
dude.
is he's the guy that Hulk Hogan beat for the first world title he won.
Oh,
like
wow.
Back in the early 80s.
Wow.
He was an Iranian sympathizer. That
Okay.
was his character, at least. I don't know if he was actually.
Yeah.
Sheik. Yeah, okay, gotcha. That was his character, was deeply embroiled in a very serious conflict in the Middle East? Okay, all right, interesting.
It was the 80s, Kevin.
You can't do that today.
The naivety and innocence of the 80s.
All the
Exactly.
children would cancel that person. All the children, including mine. Mine first. The next one up, we're going to skip over the second one because I think it's... Mr. T was the second one. The third one is Steven Seagal.
Ah, yeah.
Songs from the Crystal Cave. Having the... we're going to see this on the cut up, but just in case you care, it looks something like that. Whoa, hey. Whee.
You got it. You nailed it. Right in frame. Nice.
Yeah. And I've got a snippet that hopefully won't anger any of the YouTube overlords.
Oh.
Gotta add
yeah.
this to the bedroom mix.
I love this. Ooh.
Actually, not too bad.
Okay. All right.
It's not bad.
Got some like.
That's actually not too bad.
That sounds like if John Mayer was like 30 years older and smoked cigarettes. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that record scratch.
Yeah.
Though. Wicka.
Yeah. That wasn't too bad. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the Seagal. You watch the Seagal movies?
No.
Yeah, they're all really bad.
They're terrible. Yeah.
Which Rocky was he in?
Nah.
None of them.
No. But
No
he was
disrespect Rocky,
he
by
was
the
like
way.
a judo guy though.
Yes.
He was stone cold karate man.
There was one movie.
The Replacements.
The best Steven Seagal story is that I just read this in a magazine a couple years ago. He was filming a scene on a houseboat, and the director was like, "All right, we're gonna practice now. You stand here, you stand here." And Seagal was like, "I don't rehearse. I refuse to do it." And had a 45-minute argument about it.
Wow.
And then they're like, "Oh, whatever." And they started filming, and he forgot where he was standing, and it's like, "I'm gonna leave now." And we walked out. We walked into the ocean. He walked out the wrong side of the houseboat because he was so discombobulated.
He walked into the ocean.
Walked into the ocean, and apparently his hair dye turned the whole area black.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. What an embarrassing moment for
Yes.
Steven Seagal, friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Under Siege, Above the Law were like, okay. They were okay. I'd actually love to have my cousin on here who's
Big
does
Seagal
this
head?
for. Well, yeah, actually, he's a big action B movie guy.
Okay.
Writer. He's a writer.
Oh, wow,
on
yeah,
strike right now.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I mean he has no choice.
Does he carry on a sign?
Probably not.
Nah.
He just wants to work.
Then is he really on strike?
Yeah,
He's
I
not
mean
on the picket line. Then
he might have to be. It's a big deal. They're all striking for the credit for Netflix royalties because they get the bubble.
Yeah.
Um,
And they also want to prevent AI from taking their jobs, but like I believe Netflix's counter was like once a year we'll talk about AI, as opposed to not letting them do it.
Sure.
I don't think that's. We're a long ways off from AI creating
I don't know.
a
man.
movie.
It's writing.
Yeah.
I
Did you
think the
did you
fear
see
is
those
more-
pizza commercials? The
Yeah,
pizza.
those are terrifying.
The ones on TikTok that they put video to.
Oh.
I'll send it to you.
I've seen the Olive Garden ones.
the Olive Garden one is funny.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's not perfect yet, but
But I think they're more concerned about something like let's say it's season 9 of Stranger Things. If they put all those scripts into an AI and just say give us 10 plots for the next episodes, they can get the plots and they'd hire a writer just to kind of tighten it up. But the
That's
basic
plausible.
work will be done.
that's
by-
100% plausible.
by
I do
AI.
that all the time now with writing. It's just the themes and the titles. The writing isn't great.
Right.
So like you have to take it.
Who's been writing the synopses for these episodes?
It's
It's actually me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was reading it. I was like, no way AI wrote this. It's way too
Oh, wait a
intelligible.
second. No. There's a couple that AI wrote.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the one from MTV.
I think AI wrote that one.
Really? Get wrecked, Brian.
Apparently.
You out.
I'll see myself out, guys.
You out, son. So Steven Seagal, okay actor, not bad musician, sort of,
Sure, yeah.
maybe.
Mm.
And then the last one that I wanted to touch upon was Mr. Jackie Chan.
Oh.
I wanted to name this karate chopping music, but I think that's not the right thing to say, right?
Probably very problematic. Definitely problematic. Yes, he does his own stunt work, often in a martial arts type way.
First of all,
But we are not about to play everybody's kung fu fighting. Not here on Real Brave Live.
it's really funny.
I mean, yeah, of course. But our stance is that we are not about to play everybody was kung fu fighting in talking about Jackie Chan. 'Cause he did not write that song.
Right. Right.
Happens
Or
to
perform
be.
it, as far as I'm aware of.
He is Chinese though. He's a Chinese gentleman.
Yes.
Okay. He's not Japanese.
Carl Douglas, who sang that song, was not Chinese.
Yes,
Yes.
that's another thing too.
But anyway, he had from 1984 through 2000. He's still alive, right? Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
2018. He's had dozens of albums. It's pretty intense, and I've got a snippet of something here. Maybe not.
100 songs in over 5 languages.
100 songs in 5 languages.
Yeah, and even released his own version of the official 2008 Beijing Olympics soundtrack.
Jackie Chan from 2018. You want to do something like a long time ago or
No, let's go. Yeah, let's go some vintage Chan.
vintage Chan?
Yeah. I like his older stuff.
Yeah, I prefer his old stuff too. Before he sold out.
Yeah, right. Pre-rush hour, you know.
Jackie Chan, Love Me from 1984. Coming in hot here at Real Red Live. 1984.
Some 6-string bass there.
Okay. All right, hold on a second.
Clearly, no. We were not ready for that.
Let's try that again, because I wasn't ready for that.
Jackie Chan, friend of the show.
All right, let's try it again.
Are you ready? Action!
Say action camera.
Yeah. All right.
I can see a montage set to this song.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
a training montage of some sort.
Well, not necessarily, but yes.
That's got like the little disco thing going on there.
Yeah.
Seems like a real low effort, high yield move for Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
To just
Jackie,
release-
check this out. We've got a song written for you, see?
You just got to read these words.
So he wasn't ready for that. There's a bunch more. You can go check it out at whocares.com.
Jackie Chan, thanks for watching. Congrats on 100 years.
You're welcome on the show anytime.
Yeah. Which reminds me, we need a person to get us
Jackie Chan tickets?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tickets to what event exactly?
The Jackie Chan show.
Okay.
Jackie
I
Chan.
would definitely go see Jackie Chan live in concert.
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Yes.
Sure. No, it reminds. I want to do interviews.
Of Jackie Chan?
No. Yes, we could do that.
Jackie
I'm
Chan,
sure.
if you're watching, please call the number on the screen. We want to interview you so badly.
We've already been canceled for
Aw.
insensitivity. I want to do interviews of musicians.
Oh.
It could be like we could cut this short and then we just do the interview.
We'll have like a segment.
It's a segment.
Or like pre-tape an interview.
You could be Ed McMahon.
The WWF guy.
That's Vince McMahon. Ed McMahon was Johnny Carson's sidekick.
Oh.
He would just say some stuff like, "That is correct, sir."
Oh. Okay.
You didn't do anything.
Okay.
He had like the least lift. I think he introduced Johnny
I always felt I had more of an Andy Richter vibe.
and he just drank the whole rest of the show. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. No.
The short answer is no.
No, yeah, we can interview some music folks.
By we mean I.
Oh, okay, you can do that too. You can do anything you
care.
set your mind to, Dan. It's all good. I'm over
there's
here with
one.
you.
There's one me, not two. All right. Well, I want to do that though.
All right, cool.
All right. Can you set that up?
Let's make it happen.
Brian, can you be interviewed for something? Can we interview you for a thing?
Sure.
All right, we got the first interviewee.
Nope. That is the lowest lift. That's the lowest hanging fruit ever.
Harsh, dude. That's our producer.
It's like
you're
running
talking
out into
about.
the hallway
Wow.
and going like, "You guy that works in restaurant, come here."
When I came in for a job interview here, and you said, "What do you do?" I said, "I play guitar." And you said, "I could walk into the parking lot, throw a rock, and hit a guitarist." And I was like, "Oh." It's like that here, huh? Okay.
We're not known for our personalities.
So what level of celebrity musician do we need?
Alive.
Alive?
You can check
So far, I check all the boxes. I'm just saying.
Brian's 1 for 1 right now.
sold more than has more than 1,000 plays on Spotify.
I probably play on a couple of songs that have more than 1,000 plays on Spotify.
No. Are you responsible? Are you responsible for the songs?
Define responsibility.
Yeah,
It's
do
like
you
so
receive
weird.
royalties?
Do you receive royalties? Yeah.
No.
Dan receives
All right.
dozens of dollars.
I get at least $24 a year in
Wow.
royalties. At least.
That's great.
Coffee's on Dan.
It is. No, Brian's disqualified.
Okay. Sorry,
we,
Brian.
We need someone more in the caliber of me.
We're just going to set up a split screen where Dan is dressed 2 different ways. Is it Dan? Tell us about the music.
It's Dan, and then Dan from the cover of his solo album where he's got like the bowler hat. Is that it?
Sure.
And a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like the least. I'm not a fan of myself, so
Oh well, we talked to the guy from Black Crowes.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Which guy?
Yeah.
The new drummer. He's a friend.
Very cool.
Played with him. Good guy. But we could also interview my friend Neil, who's
Neil Young? You're friends with Neil Young?
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard a
Congratulations.
great joke about it. I'll tell you it later.
No, now I want to hear it.
That is
Oh,
not
please.
It's a family show. It's a family show.
I told that joke to him, and that is not. That is.
I
not-
really.
I'll
Can we-
tell you after.
Have
As
you,
soon as we're done,
Oh,
I
have you heard of
promise.
Neil Hamburger?
Neil Hamburger?
Yeah. We'll tell you later.
Oh. say
Okay.
I sent an email to the publicist for one Ernest Trey Anastasio, and because I had given a presentation at a staff meeting where it has a bunch of pictures of Trey in funny, funny context, and she said, "This is great." She replied back and said, "This is great. I'll show it to Trey."
And then what happened?
Nothing.
Oh, did you follow up?
I think so. I think I said, "Hey, we do a podcast," and then radio silence.
We have an extremely large reach. Trey could really benefit from being
yeah,
on the
you
show.
know what? You might be able to sell some more tickets.
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea. I think we need to step it up a little bit. And if you're out there and you want to be on this show, I'm sorry.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment below, and we'll interview you. You know what? We'll interview you. Leave a comment below. We'll do it live on the air. Right?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Nothing. Everything actually, because we've never done the live video feed with Brian.
We don't have a call-in feature.
We could.
I don't know if.
It's the budget here. It's that guy that keeps cutting the budget for everything.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
It's a real
The real stick in the mud. Fiscal
bummer.
stick in the mud,
Yeah.
that guy, cutting everything.
Yeah.
We had a party here for 3 years, and now you're giving me about it.
What party are you
This
talking
language
about?
is just getting dropped left and right. My God. Man, we'll tell the Neil Hamburger joke now. Because
Yeah, do it.
apparently we have no standards anymore.
I guess we had a party.
We sure
We
did.
made
We
the stage 2 feet wider. So.
made the stage 2 feet wide. We hired Brian. We
Yeah.
got new equipment. We got
Did we?
computers. We
Yes.
gave people money. We did a summit.
Oh yeah.
We got a new software. We
Right.
didn't fire you.
That's right. Yep. I'm the biggest.
You're the biggest drain.
biggest drain on this company's wallets.
I could keep going on and on and on, but I won't, because Real Brave is a music school that does all sorts of things online. We've got our own software. You can go to realbraveaudio.com and sign up today for music lessons. I should probably do this earlier in the show, because by this point, everyone's fallen asleep. Log into realbraveaudio.com, visit us on all the socials, and join us next week when we talk about something equally as ridiculous here on
Real Brave Live.